On July 23rd, 2022, Kevin Feige revealed the two films that will conclude Phases 4, 5, and 6, the multiverse saga. Firstly, Avengers The Kang Dynasty, and concluding with Avengers Secret Wars. But then, on July 27th, 2024, at San Diego Comic-Con, Robert Downey Jr. was announced to be returning to the MCU, but as Victor Von Doom, also known as Doctor Doom, effectively changing Avengers The Kang Dynasty into Avengers Doomsday. If we were to follow the traditional three-act structure, Doomsday and Secret Wars would be the concluding chapters of a trilogy. There are a total of 6 Avengers movies in the MCU. Avengers, Avengers Age of Ultron, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars. Just in case you need a reminder on the rules of a trilogy, hopefully you saw Scream 3. If you find yourself dealing with an unexpected backstory and a preponderance of exposition, then the sequel rules do not apply, because you are not dealing with a sequel. You are dealing with the concluding chapter of a trilogy. That's right. It's a rarity in the horror field, but it does exist. And it is a force to be reckoned with, because true trilogies are all about going back to the beginning and discovering something that wasn't true from the get-go. Godfather, Jedi, all revealed something that we thought was true that wasn't true. So, if it is a trilogy you are dealing with, here are some super trilogy rules. You got a killer who's going to be superhuman. Stabbing him won't work. Shooting him won't work. Basically, in the third one, you have to cryogenically freeze his head, decapitate him, or blow him up. 2. Anyone, including the main character, can die. This means you, Sid. I'm sorry. It's the final chapter. It could be fucking Reservoir Dogs by the time this thing is through. Number 3. The past will come back to bite you in the ass. Whatever you think you know about the past, forget it. The past is not at rest. Any sins you think were committed in the past are about to break out and destroy you. How could Avengers 5 change in title and plot, but Avengers 6 stays as Secret Wars? Unless Secret Wars has been totally rewritten and conceptualized to connect to the ever-changing Avengers 5, but I don't think that's the case here. But if that were the case, that big of a change would cause a ripple effect throughout all the TV and films that came before the switch from Kang Dynasty to Doomsday. Only Loki and Ant-Man Quantumania had anything to do with Avengers Kang Dynasty, with He Who Remains and Kang the Conqueror. Captain America Brave New World is the first stone set for Avengers Doomsday. President Ross introduces adamantium. I do believe that RDJ is returning as announced. It's the Doctor Doom part I believe is nothing more than smoke and mirrors. So, if it's not Doom, who is it? What story could make Robert Downey Jr. return to the MCU? If the face of Tony Stark is returning, to do that brings a lot of emotional baggage for a lot of characters. There's a lot of history there that starts to get uprooted the second Tony shows up. Plus, Tony's supposed to be dead, and he had grudges against Tony Stark. But one particular hated him the most. Again, a past sin. Someone you thought was gone is about to break out and destroy everyone Tony loved. Tony's most regrettable creation, Ultron. I believe Ultron didn't die, or at least not all of him. One of him survived the Battle of Sokovia, or Ultron created a backup if he lost. Vibranium wasn't strong enough for Ultron. The Avengers were able to destroy Ultron's vibranium counterparts in all his shells. It wasn't a problem. Ultron needs a stronger metal material to create a new body, a new shell, a new form. Enter adamantium. On August 23, 2024, Variety reported that James Spader is returning as Ultron in the Disney Plus series currently titled Vision. Enter the Return of Ultron storyline from Marvel Comics. In the source material, Ultron brainwashes Vision to obtain a brand new indestructible metal called adamantium. With the adamantium, Ultron builds a new outer shell for himself and dares the Avengers to stop him. Next, the Ultron Initiative storyline, where Ultron takes possession of Tony Stark's suits, Iron Man suits that is. In the Disney Plus series Vision, I theorize is secretly an adaptation of the Return of Ultron storyline. Ultron will return, but with the form of Tony Stark. There was only one path to peace: the Avengers' extinction. Credits.